me.
CPR? What do you think I did?
That's not what I meant.
Did you put her tongue inside?
Do you remember FLCL, the crazy 2000s anime that featured school friends, robots, a pink-haired Vespa-riding waifu, an overly affectionate high school student, an amazing soundtrack, and one little boy who was having none of it?
Were you listening?
Why don't you put on some clothes?
I'm sure like me, many of you watched it really young and had no idea what it was about.
Sign up
Do
now!
you find this difficult to understand?
Just that it was a little crazy and made you feel kind of funny.
I'm for it.
Because that's exactly what it was meant to do. Also made you a fan of J-rock bands. And it's actually interesting that it wasn't censored or anything when it made its way to the Western audience. And in a time where if it was on TV, people watched. Over 24 years since its release, does it still hold up to modern anime? And is it as good as we remembered? Would this sort of thing even fly now? And does size really matter?
Small, as usual.
Yes, yes it does. Welcome back, I'm Dusk. Today we're going to go over the very strange yet very popular Fooly Cooly, or FLCL for short. Coming from Gainax Studios, known for their previous hit at the time, Evangelion. A lot was expected from them. I believe they also released Mahoromatic at the same time along with another studio. I made a short on the anime if you're interested, but what we got was a short little 6-episode OVA about a 12-year-old boy named Naota who has a simple, boring life until the very personification of puberty shows up, or in this case, an immature woman.
You are useless! What are you talking about?
As much as Naota fights the changes in his body, sometimes big hairy changes that he's unable to resist. By the way, these changes are anime changes, so metaphorically they're relatable, but physically very different, and consequently losing his childhood, which is very interesting because he's reluctant to the changes. At the same time, he tries to appear more mature than the other kids in his class, and I think it's something that we've all done at some point. It's a very Japanese series that would have been hard to translate the humor and gags, but somehow the English cast pulls it off.
Vacation, alienation, Japanimation, manga, kanga, naked lunch, Hawaiian punch.
And coming back to this for the first time in years, I noticed a lot that I didn't notice when I was a kid while watching one of the repetitive Adult Swim broadcasts. But now I know the true meaning of what's Fooly Cooly.
I'm an illusion of your youth, a manifestation of the feelings in your adolescent heart.
Where'd you get that line from? Anime?
It's about dick. The story opens with 12-year-old Naota hanging out with high schooler Mamimi, who is Naoto's older brother's ex, and because his brother went to America to play baseball, Naota carries around the baseball bat like the little psychopathic problem child he is. Okay, he's not that bad, and Mamimi treats him very affectionately, as if he was his brother, which Naota obviously hates, so you can see where this becomes an issue. But on this day, while walking home, he's hit with a Vespa, driven by Haruko Haruhara. Even in an anime, we could tell she isn't normal. Haruko was actually looking for Naota's brother, and if that wasn't enough, she then bashes Naota over the head with a guitar, giving him a growth that leads to a portal that allows robots and medical anomalies to sprout from his head, and battle. This all has to do with this plant in town named Medical Mechanica, with a robot named Kanti eating Naota so he could pilot it at full strength. It's kinda like a Monster of the Week story in a mech show, as there's a new threat in every episode for the group to battle, like Evangelion, with, spoiler for a 20-year-old series,
Taco, you can't do that! That power's mine!
the eventual final threat being Haruko herself, because you know, puberty kinda sucks. First crushes also kinda suck, and in this final battle where Naota finally fights back, he also embraces the growth and the emotions that come with it.
I love you.
Because growing up is confusing, leaving him to finally stand on his own, out of his brother's shadow, and I think it's less of a coming-of-age story and more like one of taking on all the weird and crazy things life throws at you head on, even if you're a small kid like Naota. Not to go off on a tangent, but I think watching this as a kid has made a bigger impact than it would have as an adult. As a small boy myself, the representation was very relatable. Actually, anime is full of small boys, but that's a topic for another video. The theme of baseball is huge in FLCL. See, right from the beginning, we're already hit with innuendos that will lead to some simple baseball.
Body tight, then hit the ball like you're defeating the enemy. Here, the pinky finger is the key. Ka-king! Bingo!
Like getting to all the bases in Western media, and me being a naive, sheltered child didn't understand any of it. Then Mamimi attacks Naota, affectionately, and given his lack of a response, it's probably not the first time.
If I don't do it, I'll overflow.
What do you mean? What'll happen?
Okay, I never understood this either, but now I think it was way too much.
Something amazing. Ugh!
And yes, warning, this does come to fruition later, followed by another scene of an older woman taking advantage of Naota, disguised as CPR.
Come back to life!
Later, Naoto is seen with a literal horn coming out of his head from the accident. It's more boxy, so it's okay for TV, and he tries to hide it like any kid would the first time they get acne, because double meanings. But of course, everyone notices.
You're hiding something, huh? Come on.
And talk about the Vespa woman.
Icy?
And when she stings, she leaves a demon's mark that shows you've been doing naughty things and it never goes away!
Then his classmates also notice the mark left earlier. Then the next part is very subtle. Naoto says visiting Mamimi is a punishment.
Let's see.
Nothing amazing happens here. Everything is ordinary. So it's not a punishment like when I go see Samajima Mamimi.
And this is what he's always done. And that's actually pretty sad. After he's been spotted by Haruko again, who's measuring something,
Yeah, this is just right. Has a good feel, too.
Naoto goes to get the bump checked out at the hospital.
Adolescent psychological skin hardening syndrome. It's a common disease where children grow horns from trying too hard.
That's a lie. I never heard that before.
The anime really wants to push the jokes,
Was watching Taro-kun who was making out with a high school girl.
Fondling her yum-yums.
I told you, I'm not tired!
Fondling her cupcakes!
Then I present to you the infamous manga scene where Haruko tells Naoto's dad about Mamimi.
Who's this slut you're fooling around with? Huh? Huh?
Mamimi!
Ah, your brother is away, so she's sinking her fangs into you now, done.
And Naoto's dad explains what Fooly Cooly really means.
Nao's just like me, so he must be doing it. I know he's doing it. Doing it. Fooly Cooly. Cooly Cooly! Yeah!
Haruko states she's already close like that with Naota.
Right. I'm already in that kind of relationship with Takun here.
Relationship? How do you mean?
Mouth to mouth.
Among all the nonsense and crazy direction, the anime is telling us what the whole series is about. A young boy's awakening.
Band-aid.
Cooly, 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 Cooly.
I'm not mad at Guy Next, it's just how a different culture views the subject matter. A lot of what we would see here in the West as more serious or taboo is seen overseas as silly or campy.
American girlfriend. No! I must respect dear brother's privacy.
Then Mamimi overflows.
I'm gonna overflow. I'm gonna overflow.
What do you mean? Mamimi!
See, it happened, leading to Naoto's awakening.
It's getting bigger!
And then a robot comes out of Naoto's head because Gynex. It's kind of their thing. Naoto again trying to be an adult.
Yeah, you're always busy.
Because there's a bunch of people I have to take care of. See ya.
The rain stopped. I'll give you a reward. It's even better than CPR.
You'll have to pause the scene to get the joke they were making. Also, I can't tell if monsters come through Naoto's head when he's excited or angry.
What's this? It's bigger than before!
Oh no, there's some weird fat thing coming out of Takun.
But when he needs a little help, he calls for his brother. I do think when Naoto pilots Kanti, it represents him becoming mature on the level of his brother, being able to protect the people he cares about, and then the robot shoots him out.
Takun, you're all sticky.
Episode 3 Naoto has cat ears, and Mamimi pretends she's a cat too. It has a side story about class president Nina Mori and her father having an affair, which divorcing parents is a problem some kids go through. Haruko hits Naoto with her bike again, who also hits Nina Mori and transmits the power. Nina Mori starts to feel sick after colliding with Naota.
Starting tomorrow, don't hang out with me for a while, alright?
Yeah, but tonight it's okay. You're not mad, are you?
And later has a monster come out of her head too, almost like giving birth, and the monster spits her out and is defeated by the Takun Kanti cannon. An anime take on transmitting things to your school play partner. Okay, maybe I'm just reading into it a little too much.
Hey there, do you have any other hidden talents?
Episode 4 starts with showing how bad Naota is at baseball, unlike his brother, because he's a small boy. And then he walks in on his father massaging Haruko.
Hey, welcome home, Naoto-kun. Dinner will be ready soon, okay?
Too tired to hold a pair of chopsticks.
Also, she can't hold chopsticks.
Anything wrong?
And this is the first time we see Naoto actually jealous, which is something all boys have to learn how to handle.
Adults are really stupid.
And he goes right back to Mamimi.
I want to leave my mark again.
But the truth about how he feels comes out.
Go play some more games with my dad. Leave me alone.
After an encouraging baseball lesson,
Hit it into the sky, don't hold back.
Naoto walks in on Haruko and his father doing more than a massage.
Oh,
Ah, look, that's so pathetic.
Haruko-san.
Come here, I'm gonna stick it in.
Causing another anomaly to spout from Naota, leaving him to go back to Mamimi.
Are you doing that perverted stuff again?
You're the one who's perverted.
It's probably the most disturbing scene,
I told her not to leave any marks.
But Naota beats his father to death with a baseball bat.
Shut up!
I guess he was a psycho problem child after all. And as we covered in previous videos, extreme crimes aren't something that's unheard of in Japan. It's a real problem. But then Naota finds his father's real corpse and revives him.
She asked if she could use my head, and I gladly agreed, but I guess I actually died for a while.
As revealed by the secret agent, that version of his father was just a machine, which luckily for Naota, because he would have actually murdered his own father out of jealousy.
Then why did you hit him with that bat?
I didn't! I told you!
You hit your own television?
Yes, because I was...
Because you were jealous of Dad?
With this talk, we also get the reason for Haruko being there.
Haru hara haru. Her plan is to penetrate us, the foreign embassy, and the medical mechanica.
And Haruko pulling a massive guitar from Naota. Now I understand the nosebleeds, I think. The episode ends with Naota finally being able to swing the bat for the first time, with help from Haruko. The people behind the show really love baseball, don't they? In episode 5, there's a reference to Lupin.
You prefer the green one, Naota? The Castle of Cagliostro version, huh?
But there is this moment with Haruko and Naota.
Use your guitar again. One more time, Takun. Kakin did so great last time.
Not interested.
I should teach you how to be a man, Takun.
Yeah, like you know!
And a South Park reference. And this popsicle scene. My Mimi getting jealous.
I was watching. When did you start to change and grow up and everything, Takun?
The past relationship between Haruko and the agent.
What's with the eyebrows, lover boy? An attempt at bushy masculine charm? Chicks dig the clean cut look, that what you were thinking?
And for the first time, we see Naota get rejected.
You like her.
What's the matter? I thought you liked me too! I know you do!
This does lead to him finally standing up for himself.
Hey, look at me! I'm the one who's gonna save you! Now listen, my name is Naota! Don't ever call me Takun again!
And in this battle, he's able to summon a fancy guitar while piloting Kanti. So this would be the growth as Naota is more confident throughout the episode. Episode 6, Fooly Cooly Climax.
Fully climax. Hey, what does Fooly Cooly mean anyway?
Yes, that's what they actually named it. I'm starting to think this is an anime for adults.
You think he's gonna get some?
I don't know.
And hey, there's a mushroom right on his face. Now Haruko and Kanti are wanted and left town. While Mimi is having a bad day, Naota just leaves. And the agent finally explains what Atomisk is.
Well, her target is an astral being named Atomisk. They say he has so much NO that it can steal whole star systems. Atomisk was captured by Medical Mechanica, so Raharu came to this planet to rescue him.
The manga scene returns along with Haruko.
What are you doing just sitting there like nothing happened? You're a fugitive! You're wanted!
Naota finally breaks down with Haruko calling him a kid.
Come on, Takun. You're still just a kid, you know?
Where did you go?
He leaves at Haruko. Inamori finds Naota and Haruko sleeping on the bench homeless, and Mamimi is getting revenge on the people who picked on her. Kanti is revealed to be part of this terminal core to this monster. Naota then chooses to let Haruko use him and be the final component to the core.
It's time to get what I want, but I need your help, Kate.
But he escapes and Kanti is able to use the powers of Atomisk. Which causes Haruko to turn on him.
Takun, you can't do that! That power's mine! Only one of us can eat him, and that's gonna be me!
Using the full power of Atomisk is somehow a bird? He's able to absorb the Medical Mechanica hand and fly off into space. Haruko leaves Naota, Mamimi leaves town too, Kanti is still working at the house, and the kids are now in middle school as the seasons have changed, and a final shot of Haruko flying up into space.
I love you.
I'm sure the thing people remember most about this anime is the music, because the entire soundtrack was provided by Japanese rock band The Pillows, and the music is pulled from several albums. With a couple of original songs, music can tie us to a moment in time. You're more likely to listen to the music you grew up with during your teenage years into adulthood, and this is where the music from The Pillows excels, like the soundtrack of Naoto's life at the moment all this crazy robot stuff is happening. It's very fitting, And when you look back on a lot of the scenes, the music is a part of what's happening. I would highly recommend listening to soundtracks 1 and 2 after watching the anime. Hybrid Rainbow and One Life are still some of the best tracks in anime.
When I look back over the last 18 years of my life, I wouldn't be here without Haruko and without the anime fans.
I do believe this era was the start of what we see as modern anime, and the influence from this weird little anime was huge. At a convention, voice actor Richard Horvitz mentioned for Billy and Mandy, the cast was sent VHS copies of the anime. Sadly, the footage of this panel has been lost to time, but I would ask him if you ever meet him at the convention. I also learned today that the look of the characters in Avatar were based off the series. I can see that they're very round and kind of all look like the children of Naota. The spastic style of the series will later go on in Gainax anime like 2008's Gurren Lagann, which people from that production would go on to form Studio Trigger in 2011. From there we got anime like Kill la Kill and films like Promare, which I need to watch this year. The studio would eventually work on Cyberpunk Edge renders, which I also should watch at some point. Also, it's stated that Chainsaw Man's Makima and Power were both based off of Haruko's personalities. I could totally see that. Mangaka Tatsumi Fujimoto also stated that Chainsaw Man is evil FLCL. I couldn't find the source for the statements, but I think it's pretty inspiring that such a weird little show has such a big influence on anime and Western media today. Sorry this took so long. It's pretty challenging covering a whole series, even if it's short, but as always, thank you all for watching. Like the video and leave a comment if you've seen FLCL or feel like watching it now. I try to reply to everyone I get. If you're new here, consider subscribing. If you're already subscribed, hi. While you're here, watch one of the shorts. A lot of work goes into them and they're pretty fun to watch. And now see you all in the next video. Bye. And no, I have not seen the sequels yet, but maybe in the future I'll cover them. Right now, I finally have a chance to play Persona 3 Reload, so priorities. Yukari needs me.